this whole thing about IMEC you were mentioning about trade and migration and technology. But can we go back to Sucharita and see if she's live with us again? Okay, then quickly I go to Joseph Chalil. Joseph Chalil, in the light of all the developments that have taken place in the last 24 hours, the sort of detent building up between US and Russia with that call between Trump and Putin and the likelihood of war tapering off, you think energy prices would cool? Trump also saying drill, baby, drill. And that really benefits India specifically and the world generally?
I would definitely agree so, because I think it's going to be a great day for India and for peace in Southeast Asia. I know for sure that when our Director for National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, met with Prime Minister Modi last night here, one thing which was in her mind would have been the plight of religious minorities in Bangladesh, as she's a member of ISKCON and her own priests are being arrested. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sentence about protecting minorities in the joint statement. But coming back to meeting with the vice chair for the India caucus, who is now the NSA for India, Congressman Mike Waltz from my own home state in Florida. I'm here from Palm Beach, and Tulsi Gabbard. The same time, our own Kash Patel is getting confirmed as FBI chief. He's meeting with Vivek Ramaswamy shortly, who's a very close friend of mine. I think it's going to be a very good day. The world needs peace, world needs goods to move, and the energy prices need to stabilize. And cutting down the Russia-Ukraine war and the Middle Eastern war will open up the floodgates of Russian oil, the global real price, the supply-demand to rule. And I wouldn't be surprised if the future oil prices will be dipping below, 60.
What do you make out of the churn that we are seeing within the United States? How is it going to impact the Indian American community within the US? The political churn I'm talking about, this MAGA constituency, look for just America, clamp down, throw out the illegal migrants. In fact, just yesterday, I believe, Pam Bondi, the new chief of the Department of Justice, has filed a case against the New York Governor, Kathy Hochul, for letting those migrants really come in. There is a lot of churn that's happening in the United States. How is it going to impact the Indian American community?
Before I say that, let me confirm that what you see on the picture on the screen is Vivek Ramaswamy, who's a friend of mine. The other person who saw on the side beside Prime Minister Modi on that image where he's standing together was his father-in-law, is Ash Tiwari, Dr. Ash Tiwari, who's who worked together with me in Henry Ford, and he's a urologist in New York. So Apurva's dad and Vivek's mother. And the funny thing was, again, Prime Minister Modi has made it a point when he's meeting with all these dignitaries, he's meeting with their family members, whether it is J.D. Vance and his son, Vivek Vance. J.D. Vance's son was named after Vivek Ramaswamy. As you know, they're very close family friends. And even when he met with, Elon Musk, he met with the family. Now he's meeting with Vivek and Vivek's family. So it creates a nice paradigm of, Modi, showing everybody as, he's the grandfather, he's the father figure of all these. I know for sure Vivek is a fan of Prime Minister Modi, and we discussed this multiple times. But coming back to the immigration, I need to clarify why people were chained. As a former member of the U.S. Navy, as a doctor who worked in the U.S. Navy, I could clarify that they used the military planes because of budgetary reasons. President Trump's immigration budget hasn't been approved yet. So if you need to deport people, it's a costly affair to charter planes and send people by private planes, because you cannot use commercial planes when you're using criminals transported abroad. It's not just India; it's all over. The military planes were used because it is coming from defense budget, not from the U.S. President Trump's immigration budget. So that. And the C-17 Globemaster, which was used to transport, can only fly 24,000 nautical miles without refueling. And you cannot refuel military planes, American military planes, in regular airports. So you need to go to multiple American bases abroad, because of force protection. You cannot have a civilian especially with the criminal background, on a military plane without restraints. Reason being, there are people with guns on board. There is force protection on board. You cannot have one person grabbing a machine gun from somebody running around and causing a disaster. That would have been a worse news. So unfortunately, as long as Trump doesn't have his immigration
Joseph,
budget, they will have to use military planes. And it is, as sad it seems, the only way around would be to
yeah,
have
Joseph,
India sending planes. Yes, sir.
just take a bit of a detour. Since you mentioned that Vivek is your friend and you were narrating how he's come with his father-in-law. Earlier pictures we have seen Musk coming with his children, 3 of them. He has, I think, more than that. And a couple of days back, we had J.D. Vance, Vice President, meeting Prime Minister Modi with his children. What's this with America and, coming out with families? Is it sort of a political statement being made by the present leadership of the United States that the family is back?
This is the new narrative. This is a new leadership. This is a new Republican Party. Where America was known when JFK was in the desk and his son was playing around in his feet, under the desk and playing around. So that was where America was. Then it changed all the way around. When with Biden, with Obama, everybody went into so much of a DEI, so much of a woke culture where the transgenders and other LGBTQ community was more praised for. I've been to White House 3 times last year, and we had many times the rainbow flag, LGBTQ flag, was flying higher than American flag. It's actually a flag code violation. I even complained against it. And so that culture need to be changed. So Americans are back, the family is back, kids are being respected, and elders are being respected. I think that's a clear picture. Even when Trump was discussing in Oval Office yesterday, Elon Musk's son was playing around and distracting, but he didn't mind. So that it shows that the significance of family. And I think Prime Minister Modi is catching on to that and meeting with the family, and it's been very well respected. Even J.D. Vance tweeted about or talked about his son's birthday, Vivek Vance's birthday. Again, as I said, Vivek was named after Vivek Ramaswamy, but his birthday, and as you know, his wife Usha is also a fan of Prime Minister Modi. Having your country's prime minister cut your son's birthday cake or be there at that event, it's a huge thing for that family. So this is more than just transactional American-Indian relationship. This is more transformative, and this is a friendship for a long-term future of India and America. We are natural allies. America needs India as a counterbalance for China. I think it's going to be good. I think there'll be a lot more transactions done, but it'll be more transformational than just transactional.
Joseph, if I could come to you on that, you think there is something that the Trump administration can do to salvage the damage that has taken place in Bangladesh? You think that dialogue would happen when Prime Minister Modi and Trump hold those delegation talks?
I wish so, because as you know, there are now parties inside the White House who are also party to the victims of Bangladeshi minorities in there. But undoing the damage which is already done will be difficult. But at least if President Trump comes back and says that the minorities need to be protected, the perpetrators need to be arrested, and their properties reinstated, that'll be a good start. Put advisor Eunice hopefully in his place. His funds have been cut off. All the shenanigans were going in the name of USAID has been dismantled. Same is for Pakistan. So the Pakistan budget has been done. Their Roosevelt Hotel, which is owned by the Pakistan International Airlines in New York City, which was housing all these illegal migrants, were getting millions of dollars. We're talking about $59 million check, which just got taken back from them. So that hotel is done, because I'm not sure how you can go back to being a regular hotel after housing illegals and criminals for years. No one's going to stay there, so they would be forced to sell it. I think Pakistan is in jeopardy. I think Bangladesh is going to be in jeopardy, and this is going to be the time of Southeast Asia and India and anti-China. So I would hope and pray that there will be most favorable nation status outside of NATO between India and US, where Indian troops and American troops work together, join together, have joint bases, and to protect from any Chinese aggression and for South, in the Indian Ocean. So, even to a potential future NATO membership for India. So that would be the game changer. I'm hoping to that extent, again, may not be that happening right now. At least the partnership will be protecting minorities. He's a pro-Hindu. In fact, we had Tulsi Gabbard last night in the Oval Office taking oath of office on Gita from the president himself directly, along with her husband. They both met with Prime Minister Modi after that last night. So this is very consequential.
Right, Joseph.
This is going to be very good for India.
Absolutely, and hopefully some move happens in that direction. Absolutely. So it's still not clear. I mean, despite all the India hands there packed in the administration, and hearing of Paul Kapoor also going to be joining in, and someone who has very clear views on Pakistan and its involvement with terrorism, and to the detriment not just of India but to the detriment of United States. Also, I'm told he has written a couple of books on Pakistan's terror policy and how it has adversely affected American operations in this geography. So, Joseph Chalil, some parts look good, but there are other parts on which even India has concerns. Bangladesh, as we discussed, is one of them, and you spoke on that. Khalistan is another. And then, of course, Iran, for example, the restrictions put recently, sanctions announced recently by the Trump administration on Chabahar port, that goes against Indian interests. We have a long-standing partnership there, and Chabahar port acts as India's access gateway to the Central Asian region and particularly Afghanistan. How do you think the talks are going to pan out on that front between the two sides?
Abhishek, even when Trump was signing the sanctions or pressure against Iran, he clearly said, I'm doing it reluctantly. I want to have good conversation with Iran, making sure that there'll be peace between Iran and the US. And as long as they agree not to develop nuclear weapons and open up those reactors to foreign inspectors, it should be fine. Maybe this could be an opportunity where India could bring both those parties to the table. Maybe the Ayatollahs are a little bit old-fashioned, but the new president of Iran, may be open to have a formal relationship, between U.S. and Iran and have a peace negotiation. Maybe Prime Minister Modi is known to create as a peacemaker, and he will be the right person who can bring both parties to the table, whether it is discussion with Putin and with Trump, which they're already discussing. Prime Minister Modi is a friend of both of them, and the same thing could happen with Iran. He's Prime Minister is respected in Iran as well as in Israel and in US. So this could be a tri-party. Hey, let's stop all this fighting. Let's work together for the betterment of humanity. I think we can do it, and it'll be, again, the purpose of the port was ultimately America wanted to harm Iran to bring them to the negotiating table, and this is something maybe India could take a lead in.